Hey everybody, it's Tammy Espatia from Unbreak Your Life, trying to set this thing correctly. How are you? Happy New Year, Tammy Espatia from Unbreak Your Life, where the broken pieces of your life can become a beautiful mosaic. And it's back to basics time. So I'm coming back to you from being on a hiatus for a while. A lot of things happened in my life. I alluded to them in my last video, which was way too long ago. I apologize for that. But I wanted to share with you some of the things that went on in my life and how I decided to go back to basics. So my life has been a whirlwind in 2018. I was building my following on Unbreak Your Life and my relationship with Bruce when things happened in my current job, and I decided to leave that job. They gave me an opportunity and I took it. And then 2 weeks later, Bruce had the same opportunity, and we both decided, well, let's just do this and let's move our relationship forward. And we ended up getting engaged, getting married, selling his house, me moving from California, him moving also as well from Colorado. And we bought a house, we got married, we had an engagement party, and then we moved my mom and dad down to Phoenix. And then we went on a camp for stroke survivors and their caregivers. And then we volunteered at another camp. And then we had family reunions to go to. And oh my gosh, it has just been a crazy whirlwind. So anyway, so we are back. I am solid. I'm ready to dig back into the basics of my business and with communicating with you guys and giving you some opportunities and some programs for us to grow together, and I'll tell you about those a little bit later. But anyway, I also don't want to miss an opportunity to talk about New Year's resolutions. I had a video that I put out last year about New Year's resolutions, and I said, forget the New Year's resolutions. Why don't we look at some New Year's retrospections, actually last year's retrospections. And I talked a little bit about what we can look at in our last year that we can be proud of, that we can bring into our new year and learn from and grow from. And I wanted to let you guys know that 50% of the New Year's resolutions by this time, which is what, not even, it's the second week of January, 50% of people's New Year's resolutions have already been, they've already failed. And by February 1st, 80% of New Year's resolutions have not been met, and people feel like they failed and they just quit. They just stop. So I got to thinking about that a little bit more, especially after reviewing my video from last year. And I kind of wanted to dig a little bit deeper because it is kind of like a going back to basics when you think about it. So also, I got a Facebook message, a post from a friend that the other day, and she was using the analogy of the act of writing with a pencil and then erasing it when you make a mistake as a metaphor to how you can erase mistakes in your life. And so I got to thinking about that. Now, it sounded all really nice and everything. And you know how when you hear short little blurbs and explanations on YouTube or on Facebook, and it say, that sounds really great. But when you dig a little bit deeper, like I'm like that. I do that. I just tend to go, okay, wait a minute. So I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great if we could just erase away all those mistakes and those bad things that happen in our life, right? Well, guess what? It doesn't happen as easily as it sounds. It would be great, but then it wouldn't be. Because if you could just erase away the mistakes in your life, the bad things that happen, how would you learn and how would you grow from that? Okay, so let me just talk to you a little bit more deeply about that. So as a psychologist, I mean, well, in about 4 months, I'll be a psychologist. I'm almost done. I'm almost there. This is what we see time and time again when studying human behavior. We'd rather bury the negative things, put them away so we can't see them, don't touch them, don't deal with them, just go put them in the back of our mind and just focus on the positive things in our lives. That's what we do. And we ignore the mistakes and the problems, pretend they don't exist, and erase them away. We try to, anyway. But What happens when you use an eraser? Think about it. When you've got a pencil and a paper and you're writing something down and they, oh, don't like that, you erase it. What happens? Yeah, the pencil is gone, but you've got these little slivers of eraser all over your paper that you've got to blow away. Okay? So when we try to do that, when we try to erase things out of our lives, guess what? Those slivers and stuff, they still remain. They're still there, gnawing at you. They're annoyances, reminding you on a regular basis that, you know what? You tried to erase it, but it's still here. It ain't going anywhere. So you can't, if you don't address the mistakes and problems in your lives and the issues that have happened and deal with them properly, no amount of erasing is going to do any good. Okay? So what does this have to do with last year's retrospection? So I suggest we do a look at some of those mistakes that we made from last year and resolve them, make corrections, and turn them into some positives. I know it's not that easy. It sounds easy, just like when I was talking to you about somebody who said about the eraser, easy, erase them away. But you have to go deeper. The basic tool that is used in education and business every day is what? The computer, right? We use our computer, we type things out, and then we don't like it, so we hit the backspace and correct the word, right? That's easy and automatic for us. We just do it. We just do it. That's easy. But when it comes to our emotional health and relationships and mistakes and things that happen in our lives, it's not that easy, right? So how many times have you had someone else tell you that you made a mistake? I mean, we're the last ones to think that we made a mistake. Usually. I mean, sometimes we go, oh, wait, that wasn't right. I made a mistake. But most of the time it takes somebody else to show you and tell you that, hey, you know what? What you said back there wasn't right. What you did wasn't right. Because we go on automatic. We don't take the time to look and think about what we just said and did. We're not conscious of it. So what are we going to do? How do we correct that? So one of the ways I suggest we make corrections on this is to actually stop and think about what we said, what we did, and look at owning the fact that we can make a mistake. So taking the time to go, okay, where have I made mistakes? Where have I gone wrong? So looking and owning our mistakes. We don't do that. We just don't do that often enough. And that would be, I guess, step one that I would suggest that we do. And when we look at last year's retrospection, honestly look at some of the mistakes and the things that we've done that were wrong. And I would say write them down. So writing them down and owning up to them would be one thing. If you're not journaling, this would be a good time to start. Not that it's a New Year's resolution or anything, but it's a good way to do a last year's retrospection and get back to basics. Owning and knowing that we actually can be wrong is something that is humbling. And when we do it on a regular basis, that actually builds character. It'll help you build the character that you need to build positive relationships. When I talk with women about the betrayal and deception in their lives, having character in their own lives will help them get through the process of healing faster. And so let me just tell you a little bit about my business and what I'm going to be doing in this next year. Is I'm going to be regularly coming on Mondays, going to have a video for you guys. I'll put this on my website so you guys can all see it in the future. Then I'm going to keep them under 10 minutes, which means I've got 45 seconds left. And then I'm also going to do Thursday afternoon Facebook Lives for anybody who wants to come on and join in a conversation about anything relational, something about your relationship and that's hurting you, a question that you might have, and it's going to be anonymous. You don't have to identify yourself, and you don't have to be a part of my group. So if you are part of my group, you want to share this with your friends, that would be great. So I'm going to be on every Thursday Mountain time, actually Arizona time, it changes to Pacific when daylight savings time ends or whatever that is in May. Anyway, it's going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoons on Thursdays, Mountain time. So if you have friends who you think would benefit from having some conversations from me, helping people resolve some of their issues, that'd be great. I'm going to limit it to about half an hour to 45 minutes. It just depends on how many people I have and how many questions, and we'll go from there. I'm also going to provide my scheduler so that if you want to get in touch with me anonymously for me to have a free consultation, that'd be great as well. I'd be happy to do that for you and then offer some of my other services to you. So anyway, sorry. So that's back to basics and looking a little bit at last year's retrospection. And if you have any questions, you know what, just email me or write comments below and I will get back to you guys. But in the meantime, have a wonderful week. Have a great start to your new year. I know we're a little over a week into it, but I want you guys to really think about bringing some of your positiveness into this next year. And because I know it's in there, a lot of you think it's not, but it's there. You think that a lot of people think that they've made too many mistakes to be worthy or to be able to move forward in a positive way, but it's there. It's there. You might just need some help finding it. So that's why I'm here for you. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm over by a minute and 30 seconds, 35, 34. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. You guys have a great week and I will talk to you soon. Bye.